Last week, I published a video about tourniquet use in the workshop that created way more controversy than I expected. I thought my take was common sense. Don't use a tourniquet for a wound that can be controlled with other means. But evidently, some folks thought that was dangerous misinformation and that I should make a follow-up video. Most of the rage came from the internet geniuses who think everyone but them is a moron. You know the type, right? They tell you you're an idiot, you don't know what you're talking about, but they don't have anything to add to the discussion other than their arrogance and abuse. Those folks just get muted. Call it censorship if you like, but I've been doing this a long time, and I've learned that some people are just not worth a second of anybody's time. And I don't have to provide a forum for them to post their garbage. Don't get me wrong, I welcome respectful debate. There was even some medical professionals who took issue with what I said about tourniquets. Some were pretty insistent that my take was wrong, and their comments are still there to add to the discussion. Interestingly, there were also several comments from other medical professionals who thought the video was spot on. You'll find them below the video as well. But how can that be? How can one EMT or surgeon or stop the bleed instructor say one thing and another say the opposite, especially on something as important as tourniquet use? Well, for one thing, I think the science is not as settled as some people believe. I also think there was some confusion that was partly my fault. Let me explain. From reading the comments of those who got upset, it seemed to me that many only watched the first 2 minutes of the video. That's a common problem with YouTube. Folks look at the title and the thumbnail and they form their opinion before the video even starts. Then they only hear the words that match that pre-formed opinion and they discard the rest of the context. In this case, they heard me say that a guy cut off some fingers and he recommended that folks should use a tourniquet if that happens to them, which I called bad advice. And then I started to explain why. Because trauma surgeons will tell you tourniquets are a last resort, because while they can definitely save lives in certain situations, they can also do tremendous damage. Flowing blood looks scary, but the human body can tolerate a lot of blood loss. Some folks routinely donate about 10% of the volume of their blood in a single visit to a blood bank. A pint is a lot of blood. In fact, you can lose as much as a third of your blood, or almost 2 liters, before it becomes seriously life-threatening. Have you ever dumped a 2-liter bottle of soda? That's a lot of liquid. You'd be practically swimming in blood. That was the point in the video where some folks made up their minds and they ran to the comments to call me a moron because they took those words to mean that I thought you should never use a tourniquet. They didn't hear the part where I said tourniquets can absolutely save lives. They just imagined I was saying to let yourself bleed out because your body can handle it. So they stopped listening and they started calling me a spreader of dangerous misinformation. Of course, that wasn't misinformation. Your body can tolerate a lot of blood loss. But I wasn't saying to just let yourself bleed. My very next words were, of course, you want to slow the bleeding as much as you can. And if they had stuck around for just 15 more seconds, they would have heard this added context. Tourniquets are for extreme bleeding, blood that's spurting or pumping or otherwise uncontrollable by any other means. Unless you cut an artery, you're probably better off packing the wound with lots of cloth or gauze and getting immediate medical care. Again, I thought this was common sense. If blood is gushing or pumping or otherwise uncontrollable, use a tourniquet. If you can control it by packing the wound with bandages, don't use a tourniquet. It seems pretty clear, right? But if you don't listen to what's being said, I can imagine why you might get the wrong impression. In fact, right after I said to use a tourniquet for uncontrolled bleeding, I recommended having one and knowing how to use it. I even showed that I have one in my own first aid kit. That's the opposite of saying you should never use a tourniquet. I admit this confusion is partly my fault. Perhaps I should have led with the statement that tourniquets can definitely save lives in certain situations instead of expecting some folks to pay attention for a whole minute and a half to hear it. But I also think the internet has fostered this attitude where some people just can't wait to call people out for being wrong. They hear 1 or 2 words they don't like, and they run to the comments to dunk on someone before they fully understand what's actually being said. Occasionally, once I point out the context they missed, the discussion takes a positive turn. But some folks just can't admit they misunderstood. So they continue to argue with something you didn't actually say. It's just the way of the internet. Of course, not every argument I encountered was over a misunderstanding. There was also another issue in the video that I think led to some pretty reasonable debate. 2 minutes in, I said this. Yes, of course you want to slow the bleeding as much as you can, but a tourniquet can completely cut off circulation and lead to irreversible ischemic injury. Even if you've lost fingers, a tourniquet is going to cut off blood flow to the ones that remain, and you may end up losing the whole hand. A lot of folks, including some who said they had medical training, took issue with that statement. They claimed it was outdated advice. One viewer, who identified himself as a physician, said it's not the general public's job to decide what is and what isn't life-threatening. So his advice was to just apply the tourniquet just in case, because he saw no real risk in doing it. I personally think the idea of using a tourniquet as a just-in-case measure is extreme. But there were several others who insisted that tourniquets pose little to no risk. That's not what I was taught. Is my understanding outdated? Are the dozen or so medical professionals that told me this, including several in that same video's comments, all wrong? Well, I did some digging, and I did find several recent peer-reviewed medical papers which concluded that while tourniquets can absolutely be life-saving devices, they do come with significant risks of temporary or permanent injury when they're used improperly or in cases where bleeding is not life-threatening. Most of those cases involved prolonged use, more than 2 hours. Incidentally, it took me about an hour and a half to get to the hospital when I shredded my hand a few years back. And then I sat for a couple more hours bleeding into a rag in the emergency room after the doctor just told me to clean it out myself in the sink while I waited. So you can imagine how little faith I have that all EMTs are going to remove or reposition a tourniquet that you put on before permanent damage is done. But every situation is different. Even trusted medical websites such as WebMD say a tourniquet should only be used to stop uncontrolled bleeding. It says not to use one if the bleeding can be controlled with direct pressure. This was echoed by CPR Seattle, which said the use of a tourniquet by untrained rescuers can easily result in more harm than good, and that the lay rescuer should always apply targeted direct pressure as the first line of care for bleeding. Only when that fails should a tourniquet be applied. Again, before you stop listening and run to the comments, nobody is saying you should not use a tourniquet for uncontrolled bleeding. They're merely saying what I said early in my video. Tourniquets are a last resort because while they can definitely save lives in certain situations, they can also do tremendous damage. Does that mean the medical professionals who took issue with this statement are wrong? Well, I've lived long enough to know that there's always two sides to every argument. So I looked for references that supported their opinions, and I did find some. But I also found that most of the sources that debunk the myths surrounding tourniquets were actually arguing against the dogma that tourniquets can never be used, something I've never heard anyone claim. This one continues, the rationale for a tourniquet is life-threatening limb bleeding that cannot be controlled by other means. If this rationale is followed, a tourniquet can only ever do good. The alternative is that the patient will die. Is it me, or does that sound kind of like what I said? Tourniquets are for extreme bleeding, blood that's spurting or pumping or otherwise uncontrollable by any other means. Is someone really arguing that you shouldn't use a tourniquet for life-threatening uncontrolled bleeding? I'm sure not. But this is another thing that happens on the internet. People passionately argue over two extremes, as if the only choice is to never use a tourniquet and die, or always use one and lose your arm. The truth is always somewhere in the middle. And if we listen to each other instead of running to the comments to call one another idiots, we may find we don't really disagree all that much. Yes, I said the human body can lose a lot of blood before it becomes seriously life-threatening. But I also said tourniquets can absolutely save lives when bleeding can't be controlled. Yes, I said tourniquets can cause damage and should be avoided if blood can be controlled with other means. But I also recommended having one and knowing how to use it for extreme cases. The whole point of the video, which seems to get lost in all the debate, was that you should not automatically put on a tourniquet because you cut off a finger or two. If you can stop the bleeding through direct pressure with lots of bandages and get immediate medical help, why risk damaging the rest of your hand with an unnecessary tourniquet application? I understand that some people want to argue that you should just use the tourniquet just in case, even if blood isn't pumping or spurting or otherwise uncontrollable by any other means. That's fine. But whichever way you fall on this, don't think you have the entire medical establishment on your side. There's still a lot of legitimate debate on this. Leave your respectful opinion in the comments below so we can continue to give both sides of this issue a fair airing. It's just a couple of cuts. Your ears will be fine, right? They will be if you have your IsoTunes Bluetooth earbuds in, because you'd already have your ANSI certified hearing protection on because you're listening to your favorite music and podcasts. And you're supporting a small family business at the same time. Please use the link below this video to learn more and to show them you support what we do as well.